home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They'll be led out by their 6'7" quarterback out of Memphis. It's Paxton Lynch.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
No, check, Patriot! Hurry up, here we go! 3-19! No, check, Patriot!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Gone! Now let's go!
On second down, Lynch finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Brooks Reed in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. So after the INT, it's Allen. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
All right, here we go.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Now Allen throwing on second down. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, looking to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Rashard Matthews, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. And this one through the uprights and good. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20 because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defend.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And who's got it? The Giants.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
All right, here we go.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point right down the middle.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting a lead. So you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On second down, here's Allen underneath for Johnson. And now David Johnson on his way. The 20, 10. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 76 yards. And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 7-all is the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. And they've got it here. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. They send Green to the left on his own.
Green, 39.
They go play action here on first down. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Giant Hurst. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are in for 6.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's the Pro Bowler Jamie Collins that makes the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting down past the 45. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down. Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Out left side here to Bryant. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to...
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on, just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
New York set to take the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step.
Here we go now. Blue,
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
He got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. To throw is Jackson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well.
Personal foul.
I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And he rifles one incomplete.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Jackson from the shotgun into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole, because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
Yeah, now you've got options on 2nd down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top.
And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Green's got it over the middle. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now Allen to throw. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we'll get you down. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. And ready to get the party started for the 2nd half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Giants ready to come out now. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the 2nd half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing.
Let's go.
Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Myles Garrett in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Continuing to play at that level, and when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. The pickup of 11, and it moves the chains.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Allen. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Allen going to throw. And caught. Right side. Green. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can...
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Tackle made by Emerson Griffin.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
All right, here we go. Boo,
now Allen throwing on 3rd and long. And this is going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half, and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
I know anytime you watch a team run the ball really well, there's some pinball effect, people bouncing off of each other. There's also some things of beauty in there. When you see these nice, explosive, strong runs. And this guy, he knows how to carry the football really well and continually wants the football. Why? He knows the offensive line's going to give him great effort, and he gives great effort himself to finish off runs. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. And defensively going with a dime set, 6 DBs on 3rd and 4.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
Here's Jackson. He's going to air one out. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Here we go on 4th down with Jackson. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Facing a 4th down, they come away with 18 yards and the first down conversion.
We always hear about guys wanting to make plays that quiet a crowd.
Yeah.
After that one.
Here in the 3rd quarter, they were hoping to get the stop, get the football back. Not the case.
What a completion on a 4th down play.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now Jones. Oh, he's got some breathing room. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the 4th quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Ronald Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins have broken our tie as they take the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with the battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
To return, it's Cam Sutton. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. to the air on second down. It's Allen. And Matthews has it right side. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That catch good for 5. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Is that Woody
He would have
Hayes?
kept it on the ground.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now Jackson on second down. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 23 yards on the play. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Jackson on first down. Open man right side is Shark. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. DJ Chark with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Sutton now to return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking. The first.
Tight is right. Watch tight. Tight is right. Set. Blue 90.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To the air, Allen, the former first-round pick, Vernon Hargraves, the one who was there defensively.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The Giants on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3.
4 down. Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
From midfield, here's Allen. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Justin Reed. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense. And this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season.
That's caught inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
Alan Sink was the quarterback in his center on that play. They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Sutton now to return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Set. Green, 39.
Allen again here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The Giants on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey. Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
From the gun, it's Allen. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, How about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That's to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
Allen now looks to throw. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Allen to throw once more. And this will be a dump off for Kelly. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
On first down, Allen. His throw caught right around the 6. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Throwing now is Allen. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So take away the touchdown. It's kind of been one of those games for these guys.
I think it's safe to say that that type of a play just added to their misery, right?
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. Now Allen again. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. They got to have 6 here. It's third and goal.
Now let's go.
They'll come out in the pistol. Now Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. One final try here for Allen. And that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown. Hayden Hurst with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. Mike 56, Mike 56. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56. Watch the pass.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. He's going to go for a big, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
To throw, it's Allen, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 33, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Miami, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Giants, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9. And they'll try again next week at home against New York.
Money back. Money back. Money back. Can I get money back? Money back. God, I do the Maybach. Get the rock body. This is sweet Saturday. That's just with plastic. I say fake. It's he said it's a them pretty. You look like Beyonce. Looking like money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me. And I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway. Looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids. And they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. He said I'm